Rabbi Isaac Luria was born in Jerusalem in 1534 CE to an Ashkenazi father and a Sephardic mother. He died in the city of Sfat on July 25th, 1572. And in the Hebrew calendar, that's the 5th of Av in 5332. While still a child, he lost his father and was brought up by his rich uncle, Mordechai Francis, a tax farmer in Cairo, Egypt, who placed him under the best Jewish teachers. Luria showed himself a diligent student of rabbinical literature, and under the guidance of Rabbi Bezalel Ashkenazi, best known as the author of Shita Mekubetzet, he became, while quite young, proficient in that branch of Jewish learning. At the age of 15, he married his cousin, and being amply provided for financially, he was able to continue his studies. Though he initially may have pursued a career in business, he soon turned to asceticism and mysticism. About the age of 22 years old, he became engrossed in the study of the Zohar, a major work of the Kabbalah, which had recently been printed for the first time, and adopted the life of a recluse. He retreated to the banks of the Nile, and for 7 years he secluded himself in an isolated cottage, giving himself entirely up to meditation. He visited his family only on the Shabbat, speaking very seldom and only in Hebrew. Chassidim attribute to him that he had frequent interviews with the prophet Elijah, or Eliyahu, through his ascetic life, by whom he was initiated into sublime doctrines and into the divine wisdom of Kabbalah. It was Rabbi Isaac Luria who opened the Kabbalah to all, by presenting a special method of learning it called Lurianic method. Rabbi Ashlag says, with the appearance of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the decree not to teach Kabbalah in public was annulled, and permission from heaven was granted, allowing to study Kabbalah openly and to reach the masses. But what is meant by permission from heaven? And he answers, this is the holy soul of Rabbi Isaac Luria, who through his teachings opened the gates of understanding to all, from the gift of the Bible. That was the words of Rabbi Ashlag. So the Ari is the main person when it comes to the Lurianic method. It came from Rabbi Isaac Luria, that's his name. So most Kabbalah that you learn comes from this method of learning that originated at Rabbi Isaac Luria, which of course he had his own teacher, who had his own teacher, who had his own teacher, which goes all the way up to Abraham, which is the father of the three major religions. We know that to be true. But the father of the Torah, the father of the knowledge of truth, the father of objective morality, the father of Kabbalah. We know that Abraham was the first Kabbalist to write a book, right? The first book that was called Sefer Yetzirah was by Abraham. So Kabbalah is something to be learned. Of course, you should have a proper spiritual background before you delve into advanced Kabbalah. But it's not true that it's prohibited anymore. It's not true that you have to be 40 years old. You should read the description. You'll see a lot of information about what's true and what's not true. What are the misconceptions and what is the truth when it comes to it. There is a stigma that it should not be learned, Kabbalah, and there's a stigma that you should stray away from it. But I believe that if Abraham were to have known that you are trying to study Kabbalah, he would jump up and down and be very happy and be very glad to hear that. A lot of people would disagree, but the truth is that Kabbalah is the truth of the Torah, and there's no reason to hide that from people, because people right now are in need of the truth more than ever. People are in need of connection to God and connection to the Torah more than ever. So it's time, in my opinion, and I'm nobody, but it's time for people to start searching for the truth and being provided the opportunity to learn it, right? Right now is that time. Mashiach is coming in about a second. And so what better of a time for Hashem to allow this wisdom to be open to the public? There's no coincidence that it's open to the public. It's because Mashiach is coming. It's time. It's time, guys. It's time. So that's a little bit of history about Rabbi Isaac Luria. Thanks.